Hello everyone and welcome back to Floor's Corner. So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made these delicious scrumptious homemade cinnamon rolls. You will need a pack of instant active yeast, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 4.5 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 room temperature egg, and 1 cup of warm milk. First, you're going to start by pouring your warm milk into a bowl. Make sure it's not over 115 degrees. Now add your yeast and your egg. Then add your granulated sugar and then mix with a whisk for about 15 seconds. Now you're going to add in your melted butter and then you are going to mix again for another 15 seconds. Now you want to add your all-purpose flour. I like to cut it in half so there's not a lot of flour flying around. Your dough should start coming together. So I like to use a spatula and then I like to use my hand to knead the dough. You know your dough is ready when there is no sticking on your fingers. Now I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil onto the pan so that I can proof my dough. Now you're going to cover the bowl with plastic wrap and then you're going to place a towel. Here I'm going to be using Bubsy's old blanket that he doesn't use anymore, and I'm going to proof my dough for 1 hour. So your dough should have doubled in size, and this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look extra big. When you press your fist into the middle, you should hear like a deflating sound. Now you're going to shake some flour onto a surface. Here I'm going to be using my table. Now you're just going to knead the dough just slightly just to get it that it's manageable to work with. Okay, so now you want to take your roller and you want to roll out the dough very thin. I like to roll it more on the lengthwise because that is what we're going to need when we are ready to cut our cinnamon rolls. Your dough should look something similar to this. Now I'm going to take some softened butter and smear it all over the dough. This will help your cinnamon sugar stick onto the dough. Now I will admit I did not measure the cinnamon sugar, but I would say the granulated sugar was about 1/4 cup and about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cinnamon, and then I mixed it together. I really like my cinnamon rolls to have a lot of cinnamony flavor, so I added 1 little pinch of nutmeg to enhance the flavor. Now I'm going to smear all the cinnamon sugar all over the dough. This really gives the cinnamon rolls their distinctive taste and look. To really get this sugar mixture into the dough, I like to take the spoon that I use with the butter and I like to smear it deeply into the dough. This really helps preserve all the cinnamon sugar to stay in the middle when you are cutting out your cinnamon rolls. Now you're going to take your dough and you are going to roll it from one end to the other. Try to roll it as tight as you can because you don't want your cinnamon rolls to come undone. It should look like a long bread loaf. I like to cut them into about 11 to 12 different slices. Don't worry about the sizes not being uniform, it still rises nicely. Now you're going to take your baking tray. This one in particular is a square pan that I'm going to be using. Line it with parchment paper and spray it with some olive oil spray or vegetable oil or whatever oil spray you have. Now this is how you will place them into the pan. You're going to take the part that you cut on the side. That is going to be faced up, not the bottom part. So it should look like that. You can place them in the tray where they have enough space. Do not worry about if they look like they have a lot of room in between each other. We are going to proof them again, and trust me, they are going to spread. You're going to see what I'm talking about. So now you're going to place some more plastic wrap onto the pan, and then we are going to proof these again. This is a very crucial step when making your cinnamon rolls because this is what gives them that big, chunky, jumbo look that they have. So please do not skip this step, and we're going to proof these again for another hour. So here they are after our second proofing, and as you can see, the gaps are definitely filled because they rose again. Now this is what I like to do to get them a nice golden brown color. I like to add some of my softened butter onto the tops of the cinnamon rolls to give it a really nice golden brown. I like it to be golden brown enough where it's actually a little bit of crunch. Now you're going to bake it on 375 for about 20 minutes. Or until golden brown. The aroma of these when they are cooking is delightful. Take them out of the oven and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes to cool. I really like mine to look just like this. I really love that deep golden brown color because it gives it a nice crunch. And when they're really golden brown like this, it doesn't get too soggy when you place the glaze on top of it. Now I'm going to be showing you what glaze that I like to use. I do not use the traditional powdered sugar and milk. Take 4 tablespoons of softened butter, a half of the 8-ounce pack of cream cheese, and then mix it with your stand mixer or a hand mixer. Just enough until the mixture is softened. Then I like to use a half a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. Now add 1 cup of powdered sugar and then mix on medium until all the ingredients are combined. I love this certain glaze when it comes to putting it on top of cinnamon rolls because it just really enhances the flavor. I am very heavy-handed when it comes to spreading on the cinnamon rolls. I really like it to be very well glazed. The more the merrier, honey. Let it sit for a bit so that the cinnamon roll can soak up all that lusciousness all the way down to the bottom of the cinnamon roll, honey. This is just my personal preference on how I like to glaze it. You can be less heavy-handed than I am, but this is how I enjoy the cinnamon rolls with my family. The ingredients are fairly simple. The only thing that would make this recipe time consuming is the dough part, because when you make your homemade dough, you have to let it rise, and when making the cinnamon rolls, you rise the dough twice. So it is a little time consuming, but that's okay because the finished product tastes delicious and is so worth the wait. But I thank you all for watching. Please let me know if you try this recipe and how it came out. Thank you for tuning into my video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!